Have you ever wanted to display the ID of elements in Revit? Hi, in this tutorial we are going to show another practical example of how we can use Dynamo in Revit. In this tutorial we are going to write the ID of elements into one of its perimeter. As you know, in Revit we can see the ID of elements like this structural framing in Manage tab and in Query panel, and when we click on IDs of selection button, we can see the ID of the selected elements. But if you want to have the ID of all elements in Revit, for example, if you want to have the ID of all structural framing in your project into one of the perimeter, you need to create a new project perimeter and write the ID of elements into that perimeter one by one. But it's a hard process, and we are going to automate this process using Dynamo. Okay, let's do it. I will open my Dynamo from you can click on Manage tab and click on Dynamo. I open it and I will create a new project. In Dynamo workspace, you can right click on your screen and create a new node. For example, you can do it for all of a category, or you can do it by selection. In this example, I want to do it for all of the structural framing categories. Okay, so I write it all elements of a category. Okay, I choose this node, and in this node you can pass the categories as input and receive the elements of that category. Okay, so I need a category categories node. I choose it, and in this list I will choose the for example, in this example, structural framing. I choose the structural framing here. Okay, and I need to set the run procedure to manual mode. I click on category output and link it to the category input of all elements of category. If you click on run button, you can see here you have 942 elements of structural framing. Okay, I want to write the element IDs of these elements into one of its perimeter. So you need to create a new structural new project perimeters. Here I can click on project perimeters and click on new and write element ID. For example, I want to create a new perimeter named element ID of type of instances, and I put it as text storage type and put it in the text group perimeter, and I will assign it to a structural framing category. You can also choose another categories if you want, and click OK and OK. As you can see, we have a new perimeter named element ID in a structural framing, and I want to read the ID of this element and write it to this perimeter. Okay, let's do it. Here we have all of the elements, and we need to read its IDs. Okay, so right click on your workspace and write ID. Okay, we have a node here, get the ID for this element, and we can link the elements to input of this node. If you see, we have all the elements, all the element IDs of these elements. Okay, for example, for the first one, its ID is here. For the second one, the ID is of here. For the fourth one, the ID of here. Okay, so we need to write this value to the perimeter name element ID. So we need a new node named set parameter, set perimeter value by name. Okay, oops, no, I don't need it, and set parameter value by name here. Okay, I linked the element into element. We need a perimeter name. You can write the perimeter name in different ways. For example, you can write a string here. You can have a string node here, or you can just double click on your workspace and write the element, write the perimeter names here. For example, element ID. Don't forget it that you need to put your string into double quotation if you use a code block, or if you want to use a string node, you can just write element ID here in simple way. Okay, these are the same, and I use this code block and link the element ID to its perimeter name. And for the value, I want to use this element ID. I link it here and just run the script. If you see, we have a warning here. This warning tell to us that its storage type is incompatible. It's because of our element ID is integer values, but the element ID perimeter here, if you remembered, it was a string one. Okay, so we need to change the storage type of the element IDs before you link it as value. Okay, so we can just string from object. Okay, we have a node named string from object. This node just convert the integer values to string values, okay, or double values to string values. Okay, by this node I want to convert the values from integer to a string and just add it to values. And now I want to run the script. If you can see, the warning disappeared, and I just delete it and minimize the window of Dynamo. And if you can see, the IDs of all the structural framings right to its element ID perimeter. Let's check one of the structural framing. For example, this structural framing, I can check it by IDs of selection. If you can see, the IDs of this structural framing is equal the values written to its perimeter. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you like this video, please subscribe and like this video. Goodbye.